Welcome to another episode of Rich Talks BS. The Midsummer Classic just happened on Tuesday night. It was a very good game. It was entertaining at first. Kind of lost interest in it towards 6th and 7th, but it was a pretty good game overall. Everyone having fun. It was good to see everyone having fun, especially since there was no All-Star game last season. Of course, because of the pandemic. But to see it come back, to, enjoy the All-Star game again, and that's for every sport. But to see, this game was like I said, started off entertaining, kind of went down a little bit, but ended great. Everyone was having fun, and it was a good game overall. The American League defeating the National League 5-2, which extended their winning streak to 8. The American League's just been dominating, and just the way they pitched, the way they hit, it was pretty good team that was put together, and with also the replacements of those who couldn't play or that chose not to play. MVP of that was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who became the youngest player to win those honors at the All-Star game at the age of 22. And also with him and senior, became the third father-son duo to hit a home run in the All-Star game, joining the Bonds and the Griffeys. He also hit the 200th home run in the All-Star game. That was the 200th home run hit in the All-Star game. And that started with Babe Ruth, who hit the first home run in the first All-Star game. And now we got Laddie hitting the 200th. It was pretty good. It's pretty, it wasn't as bad, but it's been it's better than, a few of them that from the past All-Star games. One that was more entertaining though was the Home Run Derby. Home Run Derby was entertaining. It was fun. But with that, at one point, it just became a no competition, and that was with Pete Alonso. Other participants were Shohei Ohtani, Trevor Story, Trey Mancini, Salvador Perez, Matt Olson, Juan Soto, and Joey Gallo. Pete Alonso's first matchup was with Salvador. Even when Salvador hit 28 home runs, he still lost by 7 home runs, and that's crazy. From that point, when you seen that Pete Alonso's opponent hit 28 home runs, and then you still win by 7, the rest of the competition is over with. It was pretty good matchups though. First round matchups were pretty good. It was fun. It was entertaining to see, this tournament style home run derby, which was pretty fun and interesting also. Shohei Ohtani lost in the first round. He lost in the swing off. He lost in the swing off to Juan Soto. And, that was pretty fun, but, he's used to hitting home run derbies, home run tournaments, over in Japan, but this one's a little bit different. You could see he was starting to get winded. He was, getting tired, but he still had fun. It would have been fun. It would have been a little bit more interesting to see, if he had a little bit more stamina to get past the first round and to go against Alonso in the finals. But either way, it was still fun watching Pete Alonso just cruise through this tournament, and to make it look so easy, and to just hit home runs the way he was hitting them. Another story in that was Mancini coming back from colon cancer, beating colon cancer, just coming back to play in the regular season period. That is a great accomplishment. That's, a good story to look at and to get more into. But, just to see that, with him going through what he went through and going through all the treatment last year, and to still come back and be able to play and then participate in the home run derby. Not only did he participate in the home run derby, but he made it to the finals. He was no competition for Alonso, but either way, he still made it to the finals. He was swinging the bat. He was hitting them, And, you know, big ups to Trey Mancini. You know, that was it was good to see, you know, that, and let's see how the rest of his season goes. And now, not only his season, but now we're getting into the second half of the season. Another rest day on Wednesday. First game comes back on Thursday night, which we have the Red Sox and the Yankees kicking off their series. And that's going to be a great series to see, especially coming back from the All-Star break. And they got a 4-game series going on that ends on Sunday night. So we'll see what the Yankees can do against these Red Sox teams, since the Red Sox have already swept the Yankees twice. One in New York, one in Boston. We're back in New York again. We're going to see how this is going to go. And, you know, we'll see if there's another sweep. As far as everyone else too, you know, we've got the trade deadline coming up. We're going to see, you know, if Chris Bryant is going to move. We're going to see who else is going to move, who's not going to move. We had a couple of, you know, trades early on, like in the past couple of weeks. Nothing too major. Panic being traded from the Blue Jays. But it's going to be very interesting in the second half to see, you know, if these teams that are leading can keep the lead, you know, like the Reds, the Giants, you know, to see if the Dodgers can keep it going, and it's going to be a good race to the postseason. So it's about to get real exciting, more exciting. The first half was already exciting. The first half was good. Now we're getting into the second half, and it's going to be a even more exciting road to the postseason. Now, getting into the NBA news, we had a few head coaching positions filled over the past few weeks. One would be in Pacers, going back with Rick Carlisle, who was there once before. The Blazers hiring Chauncey Billups. Mavs hiring Jason Kidd, and the Celtics hiring Ime Udoka. And, you know, these are going to be pretty good, you know, teams with the coaches that are put in place. We're going to see what they can do, what kind of adjustments is going to happen. Jason Kidd coaching Luka is going to be exciting. You know, we're gonna see, you know, Luka's true potential, and we're gonna see Jason Kidd just release it. You know, just release what Luka can do. He's gonna, you know, let Luka off the chain, and Luka is going to be better and more exciting than this past season. So I can't wait to see that. That's going to be fun. And it's just going to be an interesting year for all those teams. We're going to see how Chauncey can, you know, pick this Blazers team up to be better, to actually, you know, get further into the playoffs. Hopefully they can keep Dame, and we're going to see what he can do with Dame, and, you know, and see if Dame can lead this team. Him and Chauncey can lead this team to getting further into the playoffs and actually looking like a championship contender. NBA Finals, we have Game 4 on Wednesday night. The Suns are up 2-1. The home team has won each game. Game 1 and Game 2 with the Suns in Phoenix, you know, they showed dominance. We expected nothing less. We knew they were going to dominate at home. Both these teams actually have been dominating at home this whole postseason. So it's starting to look like this is how it should be. You know, first 2 in Phoenix, Phoenix wins. Game 3 in Milwaukee, Milwaukee wins. Game 4 in Milwaukee, we're expecting the same thing. I'm going to expect the same thing just because, you know, it's hard to play in both these cities. It's hard to play in both these arenas. It's hard to win in these arenas. You know, it's happened, but it's only happened a couple times. And for one of these teams, Milwaukee has to win in Phoenix, which is going to be extra hard, but that's the only way they're going to win, because I don't think Phoenix can beat Milwaukee in Milwaukee. That's the way it's starting to look. They might still win, but for me, the chances are low for them to steal a win in Milwaukee. But the Suns have been out rebounded by this Bucks team in all 3 games. Offensive boards is the same thing. You know, just the Milwaukee is eating up the paint, eating up the boards. Robin Lopez and Brooke Lopez. You know, Lopez is killing the boards. Giannis is there putting bodies in. PJ Tucker is putting bodies in. You know, everyone is are doing what they're supposed to do, and they're eating up these boards. And for Phoenix has to find a way and come up with something that is going to block these guys out. It's going to be hard to block out Lopez anyway, but to put a body on him with Ayton, Ayton's got to put a little bit more body on Lopez. He's got to box him out. Try to box him out a little bit more, and it's just a good matchup between them two. Just with Ayton playing defense the way he's been playing in the paint, that's going to help the Suns also. But he can't get in foul trouble. That's something we haven't seen him do a lot. Is kind of it's kind of rare to see Ayton get into foul trouble. When he did and sat down in Game 3, that just opened everything up. And especially with Giannis. Giannis took the biggest advantage he could. He did what he was supposed to do. He played how he should have played with Ayton out of the paint. And that caused the Bucks to just dominate Game 3. Phoenix looked like they were out of focus. They came within 6, and then after that, the Bucks turned it up a notch or two, and Phoenix just didn't match it. I don't know if it just felt like, I don't know if they couldn't match it or they just didn't want to, but it was starting to feel like they just didn't want to. It felt like they were giving the Bucks this one. They were starting to play like, okay, we'll let you get this one, but next game we're gonna get you. No, it can't work like that. You can't play this Milwaukee team like that. You can't give Giannis one. You can't give Giannis the game. And it looked like Giannis just took the game, which eventually he did. He just took the game over. He just took the game in his hands. He took the game for himself. But he didn't work. He didn't have to work for it. And that's where the Suns messed up. Suns have to make him work for that game. You can't give him a game. You have to make him work for a game. Make him work for that win. Don't just give it to him. Chris Paul played pretty good. Book was starting to look like, he just wasn't there. He lost focus. His focus wasn't there from the beginning of the game. When Ayton came out, he was starting to lose a little bit more focus. When he finally sat out, he was just done. He was over it. And that's not the attitude you need on the sideline, even when you're not playing. He was still talking to his teammates. He was still, kind of being the cheerleader for his team. But you got to do more than that. That's not your role. That's not what you do. That's not what you need to do. It was good that you're still there for your team, but at the same time, you need to be there for your team on the court, not on the sideline. And he needs to get more focus. He needs to put his head back into the game. He needs to get into that Mamba mentality, like he did in that first round, and take over the game. If Book takes over the game, it's just going to be even easier for Chris Paul. It's going to be easier for Ayton. It's going to be easier for Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne. It's just going to be easier for them to do what they can do and to do what they need to do to help this Suns team win. With Milwaukee, Drew's been playing really good. Drew is that missing key. Middleton is starting to look like that number 2 option that he is and that he should be, but he just has to be consistent with it. Hopefully he doesn't have a bad game in Game 4, but I don't look for him to have a bad game, but I also don't look for him to have a great game too. But we'll see how Middleton is. Middleton, like I said, he's been showing he's that number 2, but he has to show that he is the number 2 and not like a number 2. He has to put up the same numbers. He has to be consistent, but it's just going to be kind of hard for him. Hopefully his head just stays in the game for the rest of the series, And it'll be more interesting and more entertaining to see him play like that, and to show that, that he can help his team win a championship. So the rest of the series is going to be great. After game 4 is going to get more intense. It's going to get more entertaining. It's going to get more competitive. So we're going to see how that goes. We're going to, check out game 4. Game 4 is going to be fun, and can't wait to see how it's going to end. That's all the BS I have for this episode. Until next time.